What is going on, guys? So we're back in the YouTube grind. This is something I've been wanting to do a while now, so gonna try and just put out more YouTube videos frequently, and it's not going to be any fancy YouTube videos, no crazy edits, no videographer. I'm just gonna raw dog up myself and just try and put up more vlog style kind of videos, I suppose. So today's Friday, just out now getting some morning steps in. It is so hot over here at the moment. Like, even when you get out first thing in the morning, it's like high 30s, and in the middle of the day then it goes up to like low 40s already, so it's getting quite hot. So just out here now getting a few steps. Gonna go to Grandiose, one of the supermarkets. I just do this as part of my morning routine every single day because I haven't cooked a chicken and rice meal in a long while. What I do is I just buy the chicken and rice meals in here. I can get like 2 bowls of rice, chicken, they weigh for you yourself, and it's only like €5 for 2 meals. So I just do a big grocery shop at the start of the week, and then I just top up each day on these small meals then. So gonna go out here now, get these, go back, do a bit of work. Today's a bit of a quieter day, a Friday. I don't have as much work to do, so go do these steps, back, small bit of work on the laptop, and then I'm off to train. My training in a new gym today, I'm thinking of training in the warehouse gym in like ENQUIRIES, so I'll show you that too. Then it's back. I've just 1 or 2 calls in the evening, and then what I'll do is I'll sit down then and give a bit of a life update on my situation, because a lot has changed over the last few months since I've been here. I'm sure some of you might have seen it on my Instagram, but I'll show you that update and give it more detail. So yeah, it's going to be a good day. I'll keep you in the loop. Right, so we're pulled up outside the warehouse gym now. ENQUIRIES, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, is the area it's in. First time I've been in this gym, no idea what it's going to be like. Warehouse gym is like a chain of gyms over here. There's like a load of them. There's like 4 or 5 of them, and this is like the original one. So I think it has like a good few hammer strength pieces. So I'm in to train pull, so just back and biceps, and see how it goes. So yeah, I'll show you what the gym is like in for pull. So let's get stuck into it. Right, here we are, a well overdue update. So most of you probably already know me coming through from Instagram, but for those who are new, who don't know me, I'm basically a professional online coach, and for years I was working towards being a competitive bodybuilder. That was my main avenue I was going down. But recently I had a fairly significant health scare that kind of caused me to reevaluate everything. And there has been a lot going on the last few months. So since I moved to Dubai in January, the beginning of the year, a crazy amount has happened over that 3-4 months. So what I want to talk about here is going to be a few things, mainly the health scare. That's kind of what I want to go into in detail to explain what's going on currently, I suppose, and just kind of my goals, what were they versus what are they now, my values, my identity, the steroids use throughout bodybuilding, how that has changed. So yeah, there's going to be a good few things I'll touch on here. So obviously bringing it back to January, kind of mid-January, we moved to Dubai. That was obviously a fairly significant move halfway across the world, moving my whole life over, more or less. And it was quite stressful, like fairly stressful at the beginning. Them first 2 months, I do not want to experience again. Obviously just finding accommodation, sorting visas, setting the business up, moving everything over, while also trying to still run the business, take care of my clients, still worry about my own training because I was finishing my off season. That I was a few months away from starting prep. That was the goal this year, was to prep this year. So there was a lot to handle at once, and there was just problem after problem when we got over here initially. So that was just a very high stressful state initially. So this moves me on to the health scare, what actually happened. So it was around the middle of March. I think it was like March 15th or something like that. So it was like just a random Saturday. Woke up on a Saturday morning and I was going for a walk, and I felt just like a dull pain in the middle of my back, kind of around like that trap area. Didn't really think anything of it because just used to kind of tightness there when it comes to training. But then as the day went on, that dull pain got worse, followed by kind of chest pain. Then like let's say halfway through the day, coming into Saturday evening, I got like bad chest pain here, right where the heart is, just under the chest. And didn't think anything of it initially. I was like, it's strange, that'll go away. But Saturday night, it was like fairly bad. Like I couldn't even like bend over without it being like really sore. I couldn't even lie on the left side either without it being like quite painful. And it was almost like a stabbing tight feeling. And then that's when I was like, okay, something is wrong. But stupid me, as we all are, I decided to leave it off. I just decided to, you know what, I'll sleep in it and hopefully it'll be gone by the morning. Then came to Sunday, and it was Emily's birthday on the Monday, but we had stuff planned for the Sunday, and I was still feeling a bit shit, and I didn't want to get a check because obviously we'd stuff planned. But it was there all day, and like Sunday I just felt so off. I knew there was something going on. So we were at like a Miracle Garden here for a few hours, and then we had a dinner planned in the Atlantis Royale that night, and I was like, I don't want to fucking ruin our plans, so I'll just get this. I'll wait till after if we need to get it checked. But halfway through the day I was like, nah, this is not going away. I need to get this checked or something off. So it was that evening we got a doctor up, and just to kind of check it out, and there's a few things. So firstly, they took my blood pressure, and I just explained the situation, and my blood pressure was double the normal range, which was quite shocking. Don't even want to talk about the number, but it was like significantly through the roof. It was like he didn't even want to tell me initially. He actually didn't. It was at the end he told me what it was. And that was quite scary to hear that. And then they also took an ECG, which basically just monitors my heart to see like what the rhythm was like, if there's any difference in the rhythm, if it's off or anything. And basically that showed an abnormal reading as well. So what they had to do straight away was take the ECG and also give me an IVG drip just to help reduce that blood pressure straight away. And this is all while I was lying on the couch in our apartment. And then basically I had to go to hospital after that, because he was like, right, there's stuff off, we need to go to hospital to get more tests done. So I had to get like a more detailed test, like echocardiogram, kind of 24-hour monitor. In summary, there was basically two things. One was only minor, nothing to really worry about. And then the other one was the main cause of concern, really. So there was like left ventricular hypertrophy, which is normal. That's like any athlete really experiences that. So people that are heavy into any sort of training will always experience that. Obviously, steroids is going to exaggerate that a small bit more too. So that was one thing, but that wasn't really anything to worry about. The other thing was there's basically, obviously you have your valves in your heart. Two of my valves just weren't closing properly. So when they close, they should close fully. Mine was just not closing fully. So there was a small bit of a leakage, and this isn't normal at my age, basically, the doctor highlighted. And he could see through all the other exams that they'd done that it was actually mainly stress induced. And the doctor was straight up was like, yes, obviously the gear and bodybuilding, what you're doing and the lifestyle isn't helping. That's bringing that stress up further. But it's mainly actually just stress. Like mentally, I was severely stressed because of all the stuff that was going on with the move, the business, plus bodybuilding as a whole. It basically was just like all of them variables came together to cause just a lot of stress and a lot of strain on my heart. It was quite scary too, because the doctor literally said to us, if you didn't get this checked now, in a few hours time, it could have been a different story. And if I wasn't my age, like if this was 10 years down the line, it could have been a different story. And when he said that, I was like, Jesus. It was weird to take in. It took weeks, to be honest. Even now, 2 months later, it's only really now I'm kind of looking back and like it's actually settling in. So that obviously caused me to reevaluate absolutely everything I was doing, because it was during that moment when all the other variables were going on, and no matter how much I was stressed and worrying about a million things, when that happened, I was like, fuck. I was like, literally nothing matters but my health now. It's weird when you get pulled into that scenario. So that kind of changed my perspective on a lot of things. And then I had to spend a lot of time kind of thinking, what's my plan moving forward? On a positive note, it is fixable. Like, I'm perfectly healthy now. I'm absolutely fine. I feel the best I've ever felt in years. So it's not like life-threatening right now. It would have been life-threatening further down the line if I didn't make changes. But I'm okay now, most importantly. But I had to make them changes. So that's why I've made the decision then to not compete, come off steroids, change my lifestyle. The weird thing about this situation is I was kind of already second guessing everything anyway when it came to the health side of bodybuilding and competitive bodybuilding since start of last year, summer mainly last year, 2024. I was just second guessing a lot of stuff. And when this happened, it was just like a clear wake up sign. Like I was like, okay, this means something. I need to actually change something now. The difficult part of this was not even making the decision of coming off steroids and not competing. It was more so I could feel that my identity was changing, and I knew who I was and who I wanted to become was changing, but I was like struggling to get away from where I was. So obviously my whole identity was around being a coach and a competitive bodybuilder, most importantly, to now, yes, still being a coach, that's still my main value, but that competitive bodybuilder was gone, and I was kind of struggling to be like, who actually am I? Like, what am I going to do? What goals am I going to work towards? But also, if I go down a different route, am I going to be judged? Like, am I going to be respected? What are people going to think? There was just so much thoughts going through my brain when I needed to make that change. But deep down, I knew I wanted to make that change. But because of all of that, like the self-doubt, the second guessing, fear of being judged, I just like couldn't just go ahead with it. I was like constantly coming back, and I just felt like in between two phases. It was a weird scenario. So yeah, that kind of moves me on to the next point of like my values, my identity, like what am I actually doing moving forward? What are my new goals? And it made me realize what is important. Like obviously health is a drastic one that I do not want to ignore. Obviously family, my business, and being still in good shape, but looking at it from a different perspective of not just competitive bodybuilding, but being kind of like an overall athlete, like when it comes to your performance, still looking good but feeling good, performing good. That's the avenue I'm now going down. Initially, it was quite hard to take myself away from the competitive side, especially because of how much effort and time has been put into this. And I still love bodybuilding. I still am going to be watching competitive bodybuilding. But for me, I know the direction I need to go down personally needs to change. So I'm already starting like running a small bit, like weight training, resistance training will always be the foundation of my training. I'm never going to stop that. Still 4 to 5 sessions of that a week, but it's going to be incorporating a lot more running, potentially maybe hop on the trend of like doing a few high roxes, setting some long-term goals like half a marathon, a full marathon. And the goal is simply just to be in a position where I'm still in good shape, lean, still muscular, but I can run, I can do different types of training, and just an overall kind of hybrid athlete, not just competitive bodybuilding but can't do fucking nothing else. I want to be still in good shape, still lean, but be able to do all of that other stuff alongside it. And I'm already like seeing the benefits of that. I feel so much healthier, my mood is better, energy levels are better, and it's just a lot funner too. Like it's actually very, very enjoyable doing this type of training, which I didn't think if you asked me 2-3 months ago, if 6 months ago, would I be doing this? I'd be like, not a chance. You would not see me running. But it just goes to show like how quickly stuff can change. But it's also like positive too, because I have so much new goals I now want to work towards. And it's also more experience for myself, but also more experience as a coach too, which is another huge positive. So yeah, what used to be like values of just bodybuilding number one, that's all I thought about. And then kind of business and kind of nothing really else outside of that. My values have now kind of switched to business is by far number one, just building my brand, being a better coach. Obviously still chasing good physique goals, but performance goals alongside that as well as physique goals. So just being a lot healthier alongside that, a lot fitter, feeling good, performing good, kind of family, health, and just it changed my perspective on a lot of stuff. When it comes to the steroids part of it, like it's 3 months now since I'm off completely, and honestly, I feel the best I've ever felt in years. Like I feel so good. It's only now when I look back at even 3 months ago, 6 months ago, I realised how shit I actually felt, and I didn't realise it because it was such a slow build up. My face already looks different. It's only 3 months. I feel I actually feel healthier. Like I can actually feel it. Energy's better. My mood is better. There's so much benefits to it. So when I see these benefits come true, it doesn't make me second guess or mind coming off and not doing competitive bodybuilding as much. I do not regret doing that the last few years. I would do it all over again. It's definitely something I'm not going to look back on and be like, why was I doing that? Because I don't think I'd be where I am right now. And just all the experience I have gained from it, I think personally, life experience, coaching wise, there's so much benefits to it. So it's not that I regret it. And I'm still not like against them. If someone wants to be a competitive bodybuilder at an elite level down the assisted route, it's going to be part of the game. So like I was saying, it's not that I'm against bodybuilding. I absolutely love it. I always will. I'll still continue to watch it. But for me personally, it's not the direction I need to go down. I don't even know if that all makes sense. I just rambled a load of stuff with the camera. I probably repeated myself. I don't even know if that lines up in time, but that's basically an update from moving to Dubai to the health scare that happened, why I'm not competing, what my goals are moving forward, and now at least you get an insight into what has been going on inside my brain the last few months and what direction I'm going down. So initially, like it was scary. There was a lot of worry. There was a lot of second guessing, and the whole purpose of me putting out this video is 2 reasons. One, because I want to start YouTube more consistently, and I wanted to give you an update so you can follow on my journey, actually know what's happening. But 2, because this is definitely going to be related to a lot of people. Not that people are going to be going through health scares, but when they're going through like changes in their life, you're going to go through all them thoughts of self-doubt, fear, judgment, lack of clarity, like identity switches, which is quite a strange experience. Like I know this will be relatable to a lot of people, and that's kind of why I just wanted to get this out on camera. And also I feel like from the move, from the health scare, from everything that's happened, I feel like I've gained 10 years of life experience in the space of like 4 months. So it's just changed my perspective on a lot of stuff as well. So yeah, if you're someone who found this helpful, relatable, or even just enjoyable in any way, drop a like in the video, comment below, subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram too. I'll leave the link in my bio, and I'll show you along the full journey. So I'm just going to document this full change, what it's like coming off steroids, what my goals are moving forward, doing some preps for who knows what, potentially Hyroxes, still staying in good shape while making that change. I'm going to document absolutely everything. And I'm also going to do some more kind of education videos around coaching, but also showing behind the scenes of the business work and coaching as well, and building my brand, taking care of my clients. So plenty to document moving forward. So if you want to watch it, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.